This Daytona 500 / Super Bowl 59 crossover betting picks edition of the NASCAR Gambling Podcast here on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. It's brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Sign up with our promo code RACESGPN to get a 50% deposit bonus of up to $1,000. We're also brought to you by Edge Boost. Earn up to $750 per month on your sports gambling transactions. Go to edgeboost.bet, promo code SGPN. We're also brought to you by Rhythm, the leader in data-driven picks and props. Get your 7-day free trial today by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITH.
Driver, start your engine!
Strap in and pull those belts up tight as the Sports Gambling Podcast Network presents the NASCAR Gambling Podcast.
I'll wreck my mom to win a championship. I'll wreck your mom to win a championship.
With all the news and the best bets for your NASCAR weekend.
It refrains me from not beating the out of you right now because you ask me stupid questions. But since I'm on probation, I suppose that's improper to say as well. If you could talk about racing things, we could talk about racing things.
Now, here are your hosts, Rod Villagomez and Cody Zeeb.
Dearly beloved, we're gathered here today to speak of racing things and to talk about two of our favorite sports combined into one. It is the NASCAR Gambling Podcast here on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. He's Cody Zeeb. I'm Rod Villagomez. And Cody, today is the day where the kids say? The mashup of two of our favorite sports. It's the Super Bowl that's happening this weekend, and then the other Super Bowl of NASCAR happening 2 weekends from now in the Daytona 500. We're going to cross some bets. We're going to parlay some stuff and have a lot of fun just talking about both events.
Yeah, these are two of the biggest events of the year, especially in our space, right? Obviously, the Daytona 500 is the biggest race of the year. The Super Bowl is the biggest event in basically the world, I think, at this point in the year. So being able to put them together and them being so close together, props are out for both. You can parlay props. That's what we're going to do today. Let's fucking go. I'm excited.
I love that we can do this, though. This has been one of the things where I think the books have gotten it right and allowing us to just kind of tack on a couple and have some fun. Because I'm seeing yours. Yeah. As I was putting together mine, But then I looked at yours and I was like, oh, we both had the same type of idea to kind of parlay some things that kind of relate to each other.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's that. I think, as I saw yours too, it's going to be pretty cool because it kind of, as you go through it, you've got sort of novelty props for both. And then sort of player props or driver props for both, and you kind of put them together, and you're going to the Super Bowl. If your Super Bowl stuff hits, now you've got great odds on the Daytona 500 for the other things that you're putting with it as well. So it just adds that extra layer of fun, and it's always fun to bet on different things and build parlays and put things together, one thing with another thing. And it's a great excuse to allow us to talk football on this show. So we're never going to pass up an opportunity for that.
No, and for those of you that don't know, my first love, and I think Cody's first love too, was football. The sport.
Racing was my first love. I fell in love with racing as a small child, but football is, don't make me pick between my two children because I love them both equally.
No, sirree. TK checking in. Hey, did you decide against that Arqua quote? Hey, listen, TK, I'm not done yet. The big episode for us isn't until next week. So.
The next Rod, we're gonna be talking about the Daytona 500 today, but next Tuesday, the next time we're on the airwaves here, we are going to be making official Daytona 500 picks, full card. Oh, buddy, let's fucking go! It is here. The season is here. We have arrived. I'm so excited.
Let's go. All right. So in the meantime, though, we are talking Super Bowl and we are running a free squares pool for the Super Bowl. $1,000 winner take all for the final score square. It's just as much as everything else on this network. It is completely free. Just go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/squares. Sign up today for your free chance to win $1,000. Sportsgamblingpodcast.com/squares. And due to popular demand, if we get 200 entries, we'll release another $1,000 in free square pool. Man, that'll be 2 of them. So you'll have 2 opportunities to win $1,000 if you can fill up this bracket, which I'm pretty sure you'll do by the end of today. So make sure you get on that for sure. King saying,
I would hurry up and get on that too, because the first one already filled. So
yeah,
the second one is filling and they're capping it at 200. They're not going, no more entries after that. So go get her done.
better hurry up. King checking in saying, hey, Rod, with the wavy face. Look, okay, if you don't follow me on Twitter, then you're missing out, because King proposed. So we talked about it a couple of episodes ago when we were talking about Ty Gibbs. King thinks that Ty Gibbs is going to win 600 races this season and walk away with 3 championships at the end of the year, right? I'm not so bullish. I do believe that there's probably a win in there somewhere, but King wanted me to put my money where my mouth is, or very little, any part of my body where my mouth is, and wanted me to get a tattoo of Ty Gibbs if Ty Gibbs ended up getting, I think we determined a win, just one win, and I get a Ty Gibbs tattoo. I don't know if I'm ready for that. But. And then if Ty gets 3 wins,
steep, but.
Well, yeah, if Ty gets 3 wins, then he gets an SGPN tattoo, which I kind of feel like was a little bit lopsided on the terms, but
shit happens.
I'll tell you this, King, and I told you in Twitter, and listen, I know we're all joking. The tone sometimes gets lost in the text, but that's why I'm glad you listen and we can talk like this. But yeah, I mean, I've gone 49 years without a stitch of ink on my.
Sounds like you're due, Rod. It's time to get one.
Oh no, Ty Gibbs will not be the first thing that ever comes onto my body. Never will Ty Gibbs ink be the first thing that pierces the skin. I mean, listen, if I did that, my cousin is a very established and very well-known tattoo artist, so he can make pretty good.
You already got the guy. You just got to get the tattoo now. And if you're so confident in Ty not doing it, then you get it. You don't have to get one anyways, Rod. See,
that's what the bet was. That's right. 0 wins for him gets him an SGPN tattoo. 3 wins for me gets me a Ty tap. But even still, man, like that's not the kind of bet that I want. And listen, I just know that if I lose, my daughters are going to be like, you told me for years you're never going to get tattooed, but I have to be a man of my word.
This is what you chose to get, Dad?
Yeah. Oh my God. I wouldn't even know what to do with it, but yeah, we'll come up with better terms, King. I promise you before Daytona, we'll come up with better terms that doesn't leave me permanently scarred with Ty Gibbs' name if he does decide to rip off a bunch of wins.
That's hilarious. Yes. Yeah. Hey, always down for the little side bets. So yeah, hit us up for sure. Especially if you disagree with the take that we have. That's when I really like to get in on it. So, Rod, I don't think there's any news to cover today. If we're going to be honest, everything is quiet. Everybody is ready for the Daytona 500. There's 47 entries for the ARCA race, by the way. That's going to be an exciting race. A lot of people entered into that one. So, yeah, that was really the only thing that came out today was the entry list for that. And some big names, as we talked about before, with Elio Castroneves is going to run that one, and Catherine Legge and some other people. So that'll be a fun race as well. Probably won't see odds for it, but maybe we will.
If we do, then we'll put out some YouTube shorts or whatever to kind of get you set up, or definitely check Discord as we always want you to do. So, all right, well, then I guess there's nothing left to do but to set up what we're going to end up doing. Of course, we know, unless you don't know, I don't know, if you don't pay attention to football, then you probably aren't listening to this episode. But
even if you don't pay it, this is the thing, though. Even if you don't pay attention to football and you don't follow it, like, everybody knows the Super Bowl's this weekend. Everybody watches the Super Bowl, even if you don't care about football, which is the great thing about it. So you could still be involved.
Yep. And the Super Bowl parties are some of the best of the year because everybody gets together and sometimes watch the game. And if you're not watching the game, you can still have fun. This year, I made my own squares, my own commercial bingo boards. And that was a lot of fun.
There is, if you go over to sportsgamblingpodcast.com, there is a printable, like, props sheet basically for your party, right? I remember if Adam or our buddy Justin put that up, but I did see it over there. So go over there, you can click print on that, and have everybody throw $5 down on the table or $1, whatever it is, just for a little fun. See who can win that.
I use those every year. That's why everybody wants to invite me over to their place for the Super Bowl, because I always
Rod brings the bets.
I bring the prop sheets. I bring the bingo cards. Like
Rod's like Arby. Rod, we have the bets.
I've got the bets. Yeah, and it's always a lot of fun. So definitely have fun with that. So yes, the Chiefs taking on the Eagles in the Super Bowl. The Eagles just trying to dethrone and stop this three-peat from happening. But yeah, I mean, who knows? And then, of course, the Daytona 500. We all know, and we've talked about that for several weeks, and we're just going to cross them over. So we're going to have some fun doing that this hour. So, Cody, I think we should get to it. What do you think?
Let's get to it, Rod. You ready to jump in?
I'm ready, but let me do this first so we can fully jump in and have some fun talking. Let's tell you about DraftKings. This ain't the little itty bitty teeny tiny bowl. No, this is Super Bowl 59. Get in on the action at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of Super Bowl 59. Scoring touchdowns is key to hoisting the Vince Lombardi Trophy, and you have a shot to score big by betting on them at DraftKings Sportsbook, the number one place to bet touchdowns. New DraftKings customers can bet $5 to get $200 in bonus bets instantly.
Problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, 21 and over, age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio.
SGPN's proud partner Rhythm is the number one AI-powered sports betting platform that helps provide bettors of all levels the ability to build custom predictive betting models in seconds. Build your own model, copy one of the top performing models from the leaderboard, or have Rhythm build a model for you. NFL picks, NFL props, college basketball, NBA, Rhythm has it all. I'm looking at the Saquon Barkley rushing total. I'm going to keep running this Rhythm model until it tells me what I want to see, because I still want to take the under on this one. I know Saquon Barkley's rushed for 3,000 yards over the last game and a half, but I'm just not convinced that they're going to try to overuse him in this one. And maybe Jalen Hurts steals a few yards from him or whatever. But yeah, we'll see how that works out. You can build your own model that tells you what you want to hear by going over right now to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm and claim that 7-day free trial today at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM. Because let's face it, that's really what we do, right? We try to justify our own beliefs in this world anymore. So you just go find spots that reaffirm your own beliefs. So I'm going to make the model tell me what I want.
It is really nice when you can find something that backs up what you're trying to say. Rye Cape checking in says, what's good? What's good, Rye? How's it going? He also says, #fly, Eagles fly. Roger Brother checking in. I am notorious. He says, LOL, I'm going to just stay silent for this one. That was a lie. Because then he says, go Chiefs. Okay, now I'll stay silent. So shout out to you for listening. Apologize for the loss you're going to suffer on Sunday, but you'll be fucking fine. You got enough already. So, yeah, here we go, Rod. By the way, I want to know everybody's give us final score predictions. So if you're listening to this live, drop your final score in the chat here. If you're listening after the fact over on the podcast or whatever, go over to our YouTube channel, click on the video and comment your final score predictions. And if somebody gets the correct final score, Rod, Refs or Terrorist shirt coming your way.
Ooh, you got to love that. What's the tiebreaker going to be?
Not refs. Well, we could do the refs, I guess, but the race officials are terrorist shirt because obviously that's what we have to do. So, yeah, it's a tiebreaker. We'll break the tie here on the show. So,
we'll spin the wheel.
We'll draw your name out of a hat, spin a wheel, something crazy. So, but yes, comment in the live chat here, or if you're not listening live, if it's after the fact, get your guesses in before the game kicks off on Sunday, because obviously if you do it after the game, it doesn't count. But yes, comment on the YouTube video. And those are the only ones. I don't want your score on Discord. You can give it to me. It's fine. I don't want your score on Twitter. You can give it to me if you want to. It only counts for the contest on the YouTube. So comment on this particular YouTube video, please. Keep them all together. Final scores. All right, next.
I hate that we live in a world where we have to actually justify.
Here's all I'm not as quick at the disclaimers.
Yeah.
Make sure your final scores are entered before the end of the game or before the game kicks off and get it in on the YouTube chat. Okay, thanks. Bye.
Yeah, don't. Yeah, I hate that we live in a world where we have to actually specify. Don't do it after the game because it's not going to work that way. We'll check as soon as the ball kicks off. Cody will accumulate
it
everything.
Tells me when you comment too. So
yeah, well,
you're
it's
not going to
I
sneak
mean,
one by.
I don't know. We've had these comments. Remember that jump back in.
Guess
the
must be postmarked before.
Oh, now we're going way back to those comic books where I come into that contest ends on this. I'll put all letters must
all
be
entries must be postmarked by a certain date.
Beautiful. All right. Well, then let's start building some fun parlays. We've got 4 each for you that we've kind of picked out beforehand. So, Cody, where are we beginning on our first crossover bet?
Yeah, Rye is going to be the first one to toss his final score in here. 34-27 Eagles with the win. And then King also was saying he just needs the defense to show up. The tiebreaker in his work playoff bracket challenge is the over-under at 61. That's a high over-under. He has the under, which is probably, if it's that high, that's probably the side you want.
Yep.
Although my final score is probably going to go over that, Rod. But we'll get there at the end of the show. Here we go. All right, I wanted to start off. You know, Super Bowl is a lot of fun when you get the novelty props in there. You get kind of the fun, different things. So we're going to go over, and it does – you have to check, you know, each book might be different. I don't know which books necessarily allow parlays, but I did check all these out on Caesars. They are all allowed to be parlayed. So if nothing else, you can go over there and do it there. But I'm going to take tails in the coin toss for the Super Bowl, right? Nice and easy. Tails. The handicap, it's literally a coin toss, Rod. Like that is the handicap on this. It's a coin toss. Tails, I will say, is 30-28 all time, and 3-2 over the last 5 games. So yeah, I like that. And tails never fails. Good saying. So tails wins for me. It's tails plus, Rod. We're going to parlay that with the winning car as an odd numbered car over in the Daytona 500. That gives us plus 281. Look, if tails hits in the Super Bowl, now you have a ton of cars suddenly in the Daytona 500 that you can be rooting for. And this bet will take you all the way to the end of the 500 because no matter what, in that pack at the end of the day, there's going to be some odd numbered cars, right? I like the odd number side of things. And really, you could go with even if you feel like that's better. But the odd number side of things, you get Ross Chastain. You get Austin Dillon. You know, both former super speedway winners. Dillon's won the 500 before. You get Kyle Larson, just in case, right, Rod? You get Justin Haley, great super speedway racer. You get Chase Elliott. Might be talking more about him next week. Tune back in. You get Denny Hamlin, 3-time Daytona 500. All these guys you're getting so far, right? Let's see. Do you get the I don't think the 15 cars entered, so you don't get that. Oh, you get the Stacking Penny 01 car, by the way, Rod. That is going to be on there. That's the 15 car for this race. I'm trying to go through the numbers in my head here. 17, you get Chris Buescher. 19, you get Chase Briscoe. 21, you get Josh Berry. 23, you get Bubba Wallace, one of the better super speedway racers out there. Love it. 25, 27. Okay. Anyways, there's other great people you get in this. Daniel Suarez, he's won some stuff before. Tyler Reddick is in an odd number car. You get him as well, along with a handful of other people. So I like the odds number side, and I like tails. You put them together, plus 281. And this is just one of those, like, diving in super deep on all the set. Like, it's a literal coin toss, and then you're going to have action at the end of the 500 because there's going to be an odd or 10 odd cars with a chance to win it on the last lap. That's what you're looking for. Tails plus odd car wins. Plus 281.
I love it again because it's numbers, right? That's what I'm. And I noticed when you put this in the doc, I was like, you son of a. I know
I did be right at the doc, and I put this. I was like, but I wanted to, and you found your way to get into, which I figured you would. But yeah, I like it.
I do, yeah. So I was like, all right, fine. I'm not going to be topped. I'm going to also do it as well. So my number bet for my first bet involves the jersey number of the first touchdown scorer and the winning car number because that's what we get. So, I'm going to take the jersey of the first touchdown scorer, 80-99. And then the winning car number at 30 plus. You put those together.
Well, there's his first Ty Gibbs bet for you, King.
Yeah, King. There you go. Plus 1190 is what you get for that. And listen, as far as the jersey number, if there's somebody that's going to score first in the Super Bowl, that's probably going to be on the Chiefs. That probably is going to be a number 87 jersey that's going to end up crossing the goal line first. And so that means that Travis Kelce, if you don't know who wears number 87 on that one, I think he probably does end up scoring the first touchdown. You could probably just say that Kelsey's going to score the first touchdown and then try to parlay it with that. But I think it's more fun to kind of give you a lot more folks to cheer for, because the 80 to 89, it gets you Nico Remigio, it gets you Noah Gray, it gets you Justin Watson on top of that in the Chiefs.
Gray and Watson too. I mean, the Chiefs, the problem with trying to pick one person to score the first touchdown for the Chiefs is there's 14 different people they could go to on a play to get the first touchdown. So getting multiple weapons like that, I do like.
Yeah. And kind of the same token for the Eagles too. I mean, you get Jahan Dotson in there, you get both tight ends, right? You get Grant Calacerta, and then you get Dallas Goedert. They're not like super touchdown machines, but they're easy enough and sneaky enough to get in there and catch. And then, like I said, you get Paris Campbell as well at number 80. So you got some pretty heavy hitters in there as well. So I like that. And then of course for the NASCAR side of it, right? The 30 plus. Oh boy, does that open up a ton of fun for you. Yes, it gives you Ty Gibbs at 54, but it also gives you several other folks outside of that, like Daniel Suarez, if he accidentally wins one. It gives you Tyler Reddick in there. It gives you, all of your favorite 60s drivers in there. It's just, there's a lot of guys that are primed and ready to go in that 30 plus, because you could take 0 to 9. That's easy, right? I mean, that's Kyle Larson, that's Elliott, that's all these things. But like, I think 30 gives you a lot of long shots to try to cheer for, right? So it gives you the 34, it gives you the 38, it gives you the 42, it gives you, both the Legacy Motor Club cars in Nemechek and Eric Jones, right? So yeah, there's a lot outside of that gives you Ricky Stenhouse in case he decides to rip off a win as well. It gives you that 51, right? That fun 51 to cheer for as well. So yeah, you've got a lot. And then it gives you Jimmy Johnson. That's the only one that I ever care about. It gives you the 84.
If he makes the race, asterisk.
Shut your cake hole. Of course he's going to make the race. But yeah, so again, that 30 plus gives you a lot of fun drivers to cheer for as well. And it's more than half the field. So yeah, give me the touchdown jersey number of the first touchdown score from 80 to 99. And that doesn't matter if it's the Chiefs or the Eagles, right? It's just the jersey of the first touchdown score on either team. And then the winning car number for the Daytona 500 at 30 plus. Put those together, plus 1190. That's my first one.
Yeah, I like this one. Again, you get it brings in the randomness and multiple options parts of things without having to be super exact, right? Instead of just picking Travis Kelce and Ty Gibbs, where you're just pigeonholed into it has to be those guys. Now you open up this plethora of it can be anybody from either team, which is also a bonus, that's wearing that jersey number. And then in the Daytona 500, again, when we get to that mix of cars on the last lap that have a chance, there's going to be some 30 plus numbers in there, most likely. So, yeah, I like that you're putting in both, mixing in the bit of randomness from both things, right? First touchdown, sure, there's an art to making picks, and we've done so, and we'll continue to do so. But also, there is a lot of randomness for who doesn't get dragged down at the 1 yard line, or the penalties called that didn't even affect the play when they got in, or this and that, along with the randomness, as we can see in the Daytona 500. Sure, you have to have the skill to get there and be in the mix. That's a big part of it. But to be able to get multiple options on both sides, put them together, and still get almost 12 to 1, I love it.
Yeah, that to me, that's the number that I really like the most, is at the 12 to 1. And there's so many different ways for you to get there. It's not just hammered down into one particular path to get there. So, all right, we'll continue down this road and set up another one of our favorite bets, but allow me to introduce you to Edge Boost. SGPN is partnered up with Edge Boost, the premier Visa debit card for bettors. An Edge Boost card allows you to avoid the hassle of having your card denied at sportsbook, DFS site, sweepstakes site, racetrack, or casino. And let me tell you firsthand, it is not fun to try to put all your money into an account and have your card say, no, I don't don't think I like this transaction. I think I'm going to deny it. Well, Edge Boost won't do that to you. Edge Boost will allow you to put your money wherever you want it. It's yours. You might as well deserve to earn more when you play it. And plus, you can earn more and earn up to $750 per month in cashback rewards for using your Edge Boost card. So not only can you earn more money by betting because the site accepts a card, but you can earn more just by using it. So make sure you get there. And you know your money's safe. Card is FDIC insured. And the best part, no credit check. They don't care what your credit is. It could be 0. It could be 850. It could be anywhere in between. Doesn't matter. It's completely free to use too. Sign up today. Use the promo code SGPN so you can get better cashback rewards. And of course, we're pulling back the velvet rope for you and giving you instant tier 2 status. That's edgeboost.bet. Promo code SGPN. Edgeboost.bet. Promo code SGPN. Big game is coming. We know this. We've been talking about it. It's coming this Sunday, and Underdog has you covered. New customers get a Travis Kelce free pick if you sign up before the game. Remember, don't sign up after the game because it doesn't count after the game. Do it before the game. Plus, Underdog's site-wide no-sweat entry token is live right now. You can cash in on your Underdog entry or get bonus credits in return. Still eyeballing this Kareem Hunt, higher than a half a touchdown in the entire game, rushing and or receiving. I still feel like it's going to happen. I still feel like Kareem Hunt's going to find himself in the end zone. So you might as well make sure you get in on that while you can on Underdog. Sign up with our promo code RACESGPN to claim your special pick and first time deposit offer up to $1,000 in bonus cash. It's UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code RACESGPN.
Our friends over at Old Fashioned Football checking in, Rod. To quote the Philly mayor, ELGLES, Eagles, Eagles. Yeah, if you did not hear, the Philly mayor might have forgot how to spell, left out the A in there, but you know, at least they're focused on playing football, not how to spell. That's hopefully a good sign for them. Old Fashioned Football, you are eligible to win the t-shirt as well. So drop your final score in the chat. We would like to see what your prediction is. And then, Rod, just a little plug for them. Go over and listen to their show. I listened to it this morning. They did a podcast yesterday, and it's a lot of football talk, Super Bowl talk, right? But also they incorporated in some really fun drinks, cocktails that you can make for the for your Super Bowl party that you're going to. They had a 3-peat drink in there if you're a Chiefs fan. I think one was like the blind ref or something like that. They advocated for taking a shot every time the refs made a bad call, but I don't think that's a good idea because you might get drunk fast. But hey, if that's what you're trying to do,
home, guys.
it might work out. Yeah. Make sure people have Ubers lined up. But all right, Rod, here we go. Next up for me, we're going to go over to the player/driver prop market. We'll start with the driver this time. AJ Allmendinger, top 10 finish. Rod, the road course ace himself, also a super speedway ace. AJ Allmendinger, extremely good at Daytona, even better in the Daytona 500 specifically. Last year in this race, 6th place finish in 2024 in the Daytona 500. Prior to that, he didn't race here in the fall. He wasn't full-time in the Cup Series at that point, and was focused on the Xfinity Series. But in the fall of 23, did have a 29th place finish. Shit happens, right? But 2023, 600 or 500 rather, 6th place yet again. You love that. It had been a while since he'd made a Cup Series start before that, so you got to go all the way back to 2018 as he spent some time in the Xfinity Series there. But July of 2018, 3rd place. Daytona 500 of 18, 10th place. July of 2017, 8th place. July of Daytona 500 of 2017 rather, 3rd place. So 3 Daytona 500s in a row. He's finished 6th place or better. All of those inside of the top 10. And then actually his last 4 have been inside of the top 10 as well because he has another finish back there also. And then 6 of his last 7 Daytona 500 or Daytona races specifically, he's been inside of the top 10. So I love AJ Allmendinger to get on the top 10. Might be a car lift that involves him next week if you want to tune in for that, Rod. But then the football prop that I'm going to parlay that with is Devonta Smith. And I know that our guy Rye was, advocating for him earlier. Stock up on Devonta Smith. Props. Could not agree with you more, my friend. I believe Rye is a big Eagles fan as well. Devonta Smith, Rod, big game player. This dude shows up huge in big games. Let's go back to his college career. National championship game, Rod, he set the record with 12 catches for 215 yards and multiple touchdowns in basically the first half. He then broke his finger or dislocated his finger in the second half of that game, early second half, and didn't play. 12 catches, 215 yards basically in the first half of the national championship game. Then in the Eagles Super Bowl game 2 years ago, 7 catches for 100 yards. Again, big game. He shows up big. You might see some memes going around that say Andy Reid's never lost to the Eagles or the Chiefs. That's not true because the Chiefs beat the Eagles in 2023 in the regular season. Guess what? Devonta Smith, 6 catches, 99 yards. Look, everybody in the world knows that Saquon Barkley is the key for Philly, right? They've got to run the ball, and they cannot abandon that. They have got to run the ball with them if they want to win this game. But all of the focus on Saquon is going to open up some stuff in the receiving game. Who's going to be the more covered guy? A.J. Brown, right? That leaves Devonta Smith. They've only got his reception total, 51.5. I would highly suggest and have in articles that I've written for sportsgamblingpodcast.com to take the ladders on Devonta Smith up to that 100 yards or even more. But give me the A.J. Allmendinger top 10 finish along with Devonta Smith over 51.5 receiving yards. Put them together, plus 416. Easy peasy, as the kids say.
I love Devonta Smith in this one. And you know that I love A.J. Allmendinger. So you're already singing my tune on A.J. Allmendinger, which, by the way, welcome in. There's a nice comfy spot for you on the A.J. Allmendinger fan club. I know that you like him on super speedways already and that it's not necessarily a new seat for you, but, you know, I'm just saying I definitely appreciate you being on there. All right.
Hold on. We got to break this down. Old-fashioned football. Justin says he has a dream. First of all, glad to see that you also dream of Tom Brady. As a Patriots fan, I have a dream about Tom Brady about once a week at least, Rod. Sometimes more than that. But straight from his dream last night where Tom Brady's quarterbacking the Chiefs. Gross. That's disgusting. He got hurt, and Jameis Winston came in with a dislocated shoulder, but couldn't get it done, and the game ended 25-18. So the Eagles win 25-18 after Tom Brady and Jameis Winston both failed the Chiefs, apparently.
Yuck. That's a horrible dream. I hope that you woke up in sweats and cold sweats and couldn't go back to sleep. All right, my next bet. So you're going to have to follow me on this one. And in fact, I probably even talked about it a lot when we were talking about the early Daytona 500 bets on how much I'm kind of sour on Tyler Reddick on this particular track. And the stats bear out, especially in the 45 car where he's had finishes of 39, 25, 29, 28. He's crashed out of 3 of 4 in the God, I'm sorry, guys. I don't know what's going on with my throat right now. You know what it was? I just stood out for the last 45 minutes in the cold, wet rain. So if I'm a little bit verklempt.
He says cold. He's from California. It was probably 70, but continue.
Listen, man, I was in board shorts and it was, it
was raining here yesterday, Rod, and it was like 13 degrees out. So it was just freezing midair, which is always a lot of fun.
That's not fun either. But yeah, apologies for the voice, guys. You can look past it. But let's get back to Tyler Reddick, where I said finishes of 39, 25, 29, 28. Not all these, of course, Daytona 500s. These are just his last 4 Daytona starts. But listen, when he finishes at Daytona, he actually finishes okay. He finished second in 2022 in the fall, not the 500. I get it, and then 5th in 2021 in the fall. He's had some very, very rough luck at Daytona, but Tyler Reddick, man, I feel like this is the year where he turns stuff around, and he's going to start off the year breaking the trend of being bad at the Daytona 500, and that begins his quest toward a winning season and really just great stuff ahead. So I'm going to take Tyler Reddick under 18.5 position, his finishing position under 18.5. So that means that he's got to finish 18th or better to cash this one, right? This is not the language of underdog where it makes it easy for better than or worse than. No, this is, you have to decipher and get out the roll or the code decks on this one. But yeah, Tyler Reddick under 18.5 place finish. And look, here's the thing. It's been yucky for him, but he's just got to finish 18th or better in this one. So to break the trend, we're not even asking him for a top 15, a top 10. I don't know. Look, it's just a top 18 finish for a guy as talented as Tyler Reddick. I'll take that. And then another talented young man, Xavier Worthy of the Kansas City Chiefs. His receiving total is set at 55.5. Give me the over on this one for sure. You parlay both of these together, you're going to get plus 274. So that's Tyler Reddick with a better than under 18.5 place finish. Xavier Worthy 55.5. Xavier Worthy in that AFC Championship playoff game, 6 catches on 7 targets for 85 yards and a touchdown. He got 45 against Houston, but remember, didn't really need that much of Xavier Worthy against Houston. But in the games that he's played before that, 79 against Pittsburgh, 66 against Houston. He had a 54-yard game against Las Vegas. I know it's not 55, but it's pretty damn close. And then a 61 against Buffalo, 73 against the Chargers. I mean, you know that the Chiefs are going to want to throw the ball around. Xavier Worthy is just a talent and very much a threat anytime he catches the ball. 14.2 yard average against the Bills, 11.8 during the postseason, 10.8 yards per catch during the regular season. All he's got to do, catch 3 or 4 balls. He's on this. So yeah, I like my chances for both Tyler Reddick to get over the hump and for Xavier Worthy to do Xavier Worthy things in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, hard to argue. I mean, Reddick, 18.5, that's a pretty far down their numbers. So obviously we tend to take the worst side of things at Daytona, but I like calling your shot with that. Saw him win at Talladega a couple of years ago, so we know we can get it done on the super speedways. And as you talked about yesterday, he is your champion for the season, so that'd be a great way to start the year off for him. And then Worthy, I mean, 55 yards, he could do that in one play, like you said. He's so explosive and so just fast and good for the Chiefs. He'll definitely be in their game plan, so I like it.
Beautiful. All right, where are we going next?
Next up for me, Rod, we're going to go to Saquon Barkley. I know you've been hating on him for his rush yards. I'm not going to touch the rush yards. Rush yards is a big number. It's a lot. Chiefs are going to be cued in on it, right? And I think because the Chiefs are going to be cued in on it, we got to go to Saquon Barkley's receiving yards, Rod. It's only set at 13.5. Barkley, not a big receiving back. Like, you don't see him as often as a lot of other guys. But the thing is, when you get in these big games and you're playing against really good defenses, which the Chiefs have, they're going to be cued in on running the ball. Is Saquon Barkley still going to run a lot? Yes. Is he going to be the first guy to rush for over 100 yards in 74 years against the Chiefs or whatever the stat is? Probably. But he's also, they're going to want to try and get him into space because we know how explosive Saquon Barkley is. If you can get him out in space and get the ball in his hands, let him do his magic, boom, there you go, right? He could easily catch one pass and cruise over this. I actually, go check out sportsgamblingpodcast.com, 59 bets for Super Bowl 59, Rod. A couple of the bets in there are a Saquon Barkley ladder. I'm laddering his rushing yards all the way up. I also took him at 1,000 to 1 to be the leading receiver in the game because if he hits 2 big explosive catches, and like that's the thing. Sometimes a catch isn't like, it could be behind the line of scrimmage. It could be the little push shovel pass where he's going in motion, whatever it is. But if it's a pass, technically, those are receiving yards. All he has to do for this, get to 14 yards. Easy part, right? Now, Braves fans, stick with me. Brace yourself. Appreciate it. Give me, Rod, Tyrone Dillon. That's right. Give me Ty Dillon in Group F over on Caesars. You might be shitting yourself and thinking that I misspoke. I did not. Ty Dillon, the teammate of AJ Allmendinger, by the way. Also, very good super speedway racer. Not good at a lot of other things, right? He's a great guy. I met him once. He's a really nice guy. Not great when it comes to racing, but very good at super speedways. That's what we're looking for here. So over in Group F, over on Caesars, they've got him matched up with Martin Truex Jr. By the way, not guaranteed to make the race. He could potentially not make the race. So if he doesn't, well, there you go. You beat one guy, right? Then all he has to do is beat Josh Berry and Daniel Suarez. Berry, he's a short track guy, a late model guy, doesn't have a ton of super speedway experience, hasn't been overly impressive on super speedways. Not too concerned about him. Suarez, I get it. You think he's going to win 100 races. You think he's greater than Ty Gibbs. I know it. But he can win, obviously. Won in Atlanta last year. and can have good days. But I'm just taking Ty Dillon in this group over him. Ty Dillon, 4 finishes in a row at Daytona, 22nd place or better. That's not lighting the world on fire, but in these groups, especially with the big wrecks and just being able to survive to the end, be able to get to the end. That's what you're looking for from him. 7 of the last 9, he's been inside of the top 22 in 5. Oh boy, I need to really figure out when I write these stats down what I'm trying to say, Rod. 7 of the last 9, he's been inside of the top 22. So kind of keeping with that 22 threshold, right? 7 of the last 9 there. 5 of those have actually been inside of the top 11. Can you believe that? Thinking back, Rod, Ty Dillon, 5 of the last 9 races at Daytona, he's been inside of the top 11 at the end of the day. Absolutely insane. By the way, those were in completely trash, shitty cars, like just throwing together whatever deal he could possibly get. Now he's in a Kaulig car. I get it. Not the greatest cars ever, but they're decent enough, and AJ does fine with them. So I like it. But he's been good. This is probably the best ride he's ever had. Think of some of those 96 cars, some of this other stuff. And by the way, Ty Dillon is in a chartered car. He's guaranteed to make the 500. You don't have to worry about that. He is going to be in the race. So you put Ty Dillon to win Group G, Saquon Barkley over 13.5 receiving yards. And I should have probably wrote down the number that this was going to get you, Rod, because I did not do that for some reason.
It'll change by the time anybody gets on there anyway. So
what was I doing last? I don't know if I had some booze last night or what the problem was, but
if you
can't read my notes, and I didn't write down what the price was. So I'm currently building that at the moment, and I'll get back to you ASAP on the price for that.
Okay, I'll set up my next one before you do that. Caesar sometimes gives you some fun little pre-built parlays when it comes to the big game and the big race. I actually like one of them, and I really, other than the fact that it's just fun, I think it'll be a good little payout if it happens. They pair the 2 Ohio boys, is what they call it. They say, what is it? Ohio boys. Ohio boys. That's the pre-made parlay in there where they give you Ryan Blaney to win the Daytona 500, paired with a Travis Kelce touchdown and Travis Kelce over 6.5 receptions. That's going to get you a tidy little plus 66.20, which, by the way, thank you, Caesars, for doing this. A $20 bet wins $1,324 on this particular bet. I mean, for Ryan Blaney to win the Daytona 500, it's going to be he doesn't have a Daytona 500 win yet, but he does have a win at Daytona, which I know gets confusing, but they do race twice a year. If you're only listening for the Super Bowl part of this and you don't know, they race Daytona twice a year. Once is the 500, and that's the first race. And then, of course, the second race being the fall race. But Ryan Blaney does not have a Daytona 500 win. However, he does have a Daytona 500 runner-up finish, which was in 2020. So he's been close, ever so close. And in 2017, he was the runner-up as well. He hasn't had a very good run lately at Daytona at all. A 36th place finish. He's crashed out of the last 3, by the way. 36th, 30th, 29th. So he's due. Ryan Blaney's too good of a race car driver to keep him down that long. So I think this is just fun because it does pair 2 Ohio boys together. And then Travis Kelce, I mean, unless you're living under a rock, trying to handicap Kelce is not really that difficult. Look at his last game against Pittsburgh in the regular season, 8 catches, 84 yards, and a touchdown. That would have satisfied both of what you needed to get out of him for that, over the 6.5 catches and a touchdown. Travis Kelce found the end zone against Houston. I don't know what he was doing against Buffalo, and I don't know if Buffalo was just game planning for him or they were just like, save your strength, bud. We got you. Just keep yourself fresh until the Super Bowl. But Travis Kelce,
as I tried to tell everybody, Rod, you don't really have to worry about the Bills in the playoffs because they're always going to find a way to lose. So might as well keep Kelce fresh for the Super Bowl.
And that's exactly and precisely what they did. And we know that Kelce and the Super Bowl and Mahomes, we know that that's a Travis Kelce show case each and every season. So yeah, give me this. Give me the 6.5 catches for, or at least over 6.5 catches for Kelce. Give him a touchdown, and then have Ryan Blaney winning the Daytona 500. Again, like I said, that's going to give you a tidy little 66 and some change. That number's been fluctuating, so keep an eye on that.
Yeah, I like this a lot. Kelce is going to have a big game. I mean, think about when the Chiefs are down 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter. They need to try and make a comeback. Who's he going to go to right over the middle? It's going to be Kelce every time. I think that he's in for a big game, and even if the Chiefs win too, I think that even more so, he's going to win. People, he hasn't been as good this year, whatever. He's still fine when he gets the ball. He's going to get the ball. They can't not give him the ball. So I love it. And then you take one of the favorites to win the Daytona 500. Ryan Blaney's at the top of the board, right? He's 12-1, 11-1, 13-1, somewhere in there. And now after Kelce, gets all this stuff, the touchdown and the 7 catches, now you've got Ryan Blaney to win the Daytona 500 at 66-1. Gotta love putting those together.
Kelce's got 20 touchdowns in his postseason career. 20 touchdowns. I mean, 4 in 2019, 3 in 2020, 3 in 2021, 4 in 2022, 3 last year, 1 already this year. Dude's a beast.
No, I love it. Going back to mine, the Barkley over receiving yards and Ty Dillon to win Group F. King saying the one and only time you could take Ty Dillon, hoping he misses the 20-car pileup. You'd laugh, but that's actually what it is. He's just really good at avoiding the big stuff, staying out of the way, and finds his way to the end of the race and betting on super speedways. That's what you're looking for. And it's one of 6 times we'll probably talk about Ty Dillon this year, because there's 6 super speedway races. That's the only time we're going to talk about Ty Dillon. But hey, if it works, it works. And by the way, that bet was plus 632 for Barkley to go over 13.5 receiving yards and Ty Dillon to win Group F. All right, Rod, we've reached the end of the show. I thought it would be good for us to give our final score predictions. Maybe we're eligible to win T-shirts too. Who knows? We'll have to check with the bosses on the official contest rules. But this also gives us a chance to give our bets for winning the game. So yeah, you ready to do that?
Let's do it. I'm ready. I want to win a shirt.
All right, Rod. I have got the Eagles winning the race. Winning the race. They might win the race too, but they're going to win the race to the end of the Super Bowl. I've got the Philadelphia Eagles winning. I'm going to take them on the money line. My final score is 38-31. The Chiefs winning God. Let's try this over. All right, Rod. My final score, 38-31. The Eagles winning over the Chiefs, ending the dynasty, delaying or stopping them from getting the three-peat. And so take the Eagles on the money line and get them at plus 100. But I'm also going to put the Eagles and Bubba Wallace together, both to win the Super Bowl, to win the Super Bowl of NASCAR in the Daytona 500. Put them together, you get them at plus 49.76, so almost 50-1. Again, if the Eagles win on Sunday, now you got a 50-1 ticket on Bubba Wallace next week. Got to love that. Bubba Wallace, Rod, is tied with Kyle Busch for the best average finish at Daytona in the next-gen car. Thank you to iFantasy Racing for that stat. 9.3 average finish, top 6 in both races last season at Daytona. And 6 of the last 7 races at Daytona, he's been inside the top 12. 2 times in his career, Rod. He's finished second place in that Daytona 500. He is very, very hungry for a 500 victory. It would shut a lot of people the fuck up if Bubba Wallace wins. Give me the Eagles. Give me Bubba Wallace. Put them together. 49.76 is the number you'll get for that.
Beautiful. Bubba Wallace by himself is 25-1 to win. So you'll double your opportunity if the Eagles do end up winning and Bubba Wallace ends up winning. Fantastic. King asking if we missed his score. Maybe we did. Oops, there it is.
I could have swore I said it, but it also could have been in my head because that happens a lot. So 27-20 Chiefs. Sorry for your loss.
No, you're good. My brother too, 33-30 KC. That's a higher scoring game than I anticipated being.
But when they played a couple years ago, it was 38-35. And I would argue, why you don't even have to argue, the Eagles are more explosive. Now they got Saquon Barkley. Could slow the game down some, yes, but they're going to be explosive. And personally, I think that the Chiefs are going to have to keep up. I think the Chiefs would rather it be a lower scoring game, but I think the Eagles are going to start early with the scoring, and it's going to turn into a shootout at the end of the game, and that's why the score is going to be so high.
Well, we shall see. But I, in the meantime, am going to, against my better judgment, And against, maybe this is just me reverse jinxing the world. I'm going to take Kansas City. I'm going to take them with the points too. On the money. Shut up. I don't care. I'm doing this because it's hard. And look, I like history just as much as anybody. So I think a three-peat is kind of fun for the sport. I wish it was a different team because I don't want to give my brother the first opportunity to have a three-peat in the family. I mean, I've got more Super Bowl wins under my belt.
Yeah, but see, like, that's the thing. People, I get from the historical aspect, if it does happen, it is like the greatest run we've ever seen, which as a Patriots fan, I would not like to see because obviously we've had some pretty great runs. But then you think of, like you said, you would like for it to be a different team, but would you like think of all the other teams besides your own, the 49ers, who would you be okay with seeing? I mean, you pick somebody that's the Vikings. They're like a lowly franchise, never won anything, but the Chiefs used to be that too.
Yep.
I mean, I know they won some early ones, right? But I don't know. I don't want to see anybody but the Patriots three-peat.
I watched my well, that's what I'm saying. I want to watch the Niners do it, but I can't. In fact,
no, Mahomes lost to the GOAT the only time he played him in the Super Bowl, so he'll never be able to be the GOAT. And also, Tom Brady beat Patrick Mahomes the last time played each other in the Super Bowl. Guess who's calling the game for Fox, Rod?
It's Tom
Maybe
Brady.
Patrick Mahomes' kryptonite is going to be in the building, and he'll crumble under the pressure.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, I'm gonna take the score 28-24, Kansas City. I still think it's going to be a close game. But I mean, look, Kansas City, they're like almost immune to scoring over 30 points. They did it against the Broncos. They did it against once against the Broncos to start the season, then again during to the Bills, so that's twice. And that's once against the Buccaneers. And that's it. Like they scored 32 against the Bills in the playoffs, but that's the Bills, right? I think that was because they needed to do that. But I don't know that they're going to need to do that against the Eagles, because if you look at the Eagles, the last couple games, they've barely scored 22, 28, 21 against the Falcons in week 2. Like, it's just, I don't know. I don't see them needing a whole lot of points to win this game. The Chiefs, I think they can just, if they keep the game on the ground and the tush pushes to a minimum, then I think we're good to go. 28 is within the range of the Kansas City's liking. And then the Chiefs are the Eagles. You know, they'll keep up, but I just think that the punches will get traded between the goal lines and not necessarily across the goal lines. So 28-24 Kansas City. I'm going to take that Chiefs 1.5 and pair it up with Tyler Reddick. Why the hell not? I'm going to give him his first Daytona 500 victory. I just think the 45 card, that also satisfies my my under 18.5 finish as well, and the winning car number 1. So I'm just all in on this particular day on Tyler Reddick. Ask me again during the Daytona 500 episode. I may tell you something different, but for this instance, a 42-1 for Tyler Reddick to win if the Chiefs do end up on the three-peat.
Yeah, and if the Chiefs win, you don't have to pick them next week because you're going to be holding a 40-1 ticket on them. So that opens up your options to bet on other people, which also makes it great.
Yep. Which, by the way, again, Tyler Reddick by himself, 22-1 to win the Daytona 500. So yeah, you're pretty much doubling your chances or doubling your profit on him as well. So yeah, give me the Chiefs to win by 1.5. That's minus 105, and then Tyler Reddick at 22-1. Put those together, it's 42-1.
I love it. All right, Rod. The next time we're on here, we're going to be talking about the Daytona 500. Let's fucking go. Oh, I'm so excited. In the meantime, Rod, before we get to that episode, make sure you go join that Squares pool over at Sports Gambling Podcast. I don't remember the link to that. I don't know if you have it pulled up on the ad.
SportsGamblingPodcast.com/squares.
Wow, they made that really difficult to remember, but easy to remember. SportsGamblingPodcast.com/squares. While you're over there, SportsGamblingPodcast.com/Daytona. Get entered into our Daytona 500 contest. Make sure you subscribe over to the YouTube. Leave your final score predictions. Yeah, and this show's wrapping up now, but just go find this video, comment on it, give us your final score predictions before kickoff. If you get it exactly right, we will get you that Race Officials our terrorist shirt Go check that out over on my X at Husker_Zeeb, where you can find the rest of my work, Rod. Ton of stuff out over there. Like I said, that 59 bets for Super Bowl 59. If you want to peruse through that, pick some of your favorites. If you want to bet all 59, you can thank me, buy me a steak later. I'd be fine with that too. Daytona 500 next week. Let's go. Go Eagles. Beat the Chiefs. See you guys next week.
Follow me on Twitter at RJ Villagomez, linking about everything I've got going on, whether it's here. Make sure you check out Seth and Elliot as they break down their favorites and all that other good stuff coming up on the back road on that YouTube channel as well. And then there's going to be some handball on my special fun link out there, so find that as well on my Twitter site. Love you all. Cannot wait for this Sunday and, more importantly, for next week as we start breaking down the Daytona 500. The time has arrived, so let's all have some good sleeps, and we'll see each other again on Tuesday to talk the 500. Until then, let's go racing and let it ride.